Good morning. This is your Old Capital Lending Update from Monday, August 1st, 2011. And I'm Billy Parker, President of MCE Providers of North Texas.
And I'm Paul Peebles, National Underwriter for Old Capital Lending. And Billy, are you keeping cool these days?
Trying to, Paul.
Well, mortgage rates survived the scorching heat of Texas and the uncertainty of the budget crisis in Washington. So how are the fixed rates looking these days, Billy?
Well, Paul, actually they're holding up despite the hot weather and the uncertainty in Washington. The 30-year fixed rate mortgages are running at 4.5%. That includes a 1% discount fee. 15-year fixed rate mortgages are running at 3.6%, and that also includes a 1% discount fee. Again, it's a great time to be purchasing or refinancing a house. Well, Paul, as you know, one of the key components in the underwriting process involves the verification of the borrower's income and available funds that will be used for the down payment and closing costs. Can you tell our viewers how these very important details are verified by the underwriter?
Sure. Yeah, that's correct, Billy. I want to spend just a few minutes here in the underwriter's corner on how we document a borrower's liquidity and income. Those are two very important criteria that we must be able to show that the borrower has enough money, not just for the down payment, but he also has money for reserves. And every lender wants to make sure that they have enough money, the borrower has enough money to cover for a rainy day. So reserves are critical. And so how do we document that? That's usually through a verification of deposit. And that's a form that we usually initially sign at the application. We present that form to the bank, they complete it, and it states what the current deposit balance is and what the average 2-month balance has been and when the account was open and who's on the account and things like that.
Right.
So if we ever have any large deposits like a gift from a parent or money being moved from one account to another account, we need to show a paper trail. And then what that means is I want to see written verification of the transfer out and from the transfer back into this account. So the underwriter wants to check and recheck to make sure that any large deposits weren't borrowed money.
Absolutely.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
The other part I want to mention is the verification of income. And how we verify a borrower's income is vital in the approving process of the loan. We can verify a borrower's income several different ways. I typically use the recent 30 days of pay stubs and last year's tax returns. And I want to see all the pages of the tax returns.
All the pages.
And not just the first 2 pages, like we typically get. So we'll do our income calculations based on last year's and this year's documentation. If you're self-employed, we need to have at least 2 years of complete tax returns. But sometimes we can do it with just one. So call me if there's any questions on that. Also, right before we close, the lender is going to phone verify the employer to make sure that they still have a job.
Which is mildly important.
As you can imagine, if this was your money, you'd want to do the same thing. Check and check again and recheck. So, Billy, what are the spotlight cities that we want to handle this week?
Well, Paul, good question, and the answer is North Richland Hills and Lewisville. In North Richland Hills, for the month of June, there were 60 homes that were sold, and the average sales price was a little over $168,000. The average days on market was 95. Now, in the last 7 days, there were 20 homes listed and 6 homes that were sold. Over in Lewisville, for the month of June, there were 94 homes that were sold, and the average sales price was a little over $186,000. Days on market, we were looking at 106 days on market. Now, in the last 7 days, there were 34 homes that were listed and 15 homes that were sold. So the current active listings in North Richland Hills is 323, and over in Lewisville, we have 445 current active listings. Well, folks, that does it for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in and for your comments. Stay cool as you can, and we'll see you the next time.
Thank you.